Hi, I'm Miss Halleck, and I'm going to show you guys how to use Google Classroom. So to get to Google Classroom, once you're logged into your Google account, I'm logged into a class of 2023 student account. It's not a real student. I'm going to click this button over here that looks like 9 dots all next to each other, and then click the chalkboard that says Classroom. Once I'm there, I have all the classes that I'm enrolled in, and if there are any assignments coming up, it'll show up here. There'll also be some information about opening my work and opening the Google Drive for that class. So if I click Science, I'm going to show up in the Stream tab. The Stream tab has a link for going to Google Meets with my teacher. I can only go into the Google Meet once my teacher is in there, so make sure that you have the appointment date correct or the appointment time for when you're meeting with your teacher. You'll have a to-do list of what's upcoming. I have an assignment that was due at 1:15 today, but it's 1:45, so it's late. And I have some work coming up due on Friday. If I click View All, it'll show me even more. Here is the stream of all the things my teacher has posted ever, so it can get a little hectic here. You can see that there's just a comment from the teacher, and some materials, some assignments, and some questions, but it's really confusing what I'm supposed to do there. So I recommend you always go right over to the Classwork tab. That's what you know what to do in class to work on. So you can see the units that you have. This teacher has Unit 1 and a Resources unit. The stuff is grayed out, so you've either already done it or there's nothing to do. Only the bright colored ones are the ones you need to work on. So down here, the teacher put a material, which is just something for you to look at, and an assignment the student has already done. So it says comment hello for 10 points. The student commented hello, and it was graded. It got 10 points, 10 out of 10. When I go back to science and my classwork, I can see I have other assignments. This one is a link, so it says click the link below to do the work. If I view my assignment, there's nothing for me to attach, so I could add it, but it doesn't say to add an assignment, so it says to click the link, do it, and then mark as done. I already did it, so I'm going to mark it as done. Now when I go back to the Classwork tab, it's grayed out, it's done. The next assignment says fill out a template, so I open it up. The thing that's attached is a template with information already in there. I already answered most of the questions, so I'm just going to answer the last question. And now I can go back and turn it in. I don't have a grade yet because the teacher has to go in and grade it. So back to classwork. Now we have another one. Grade out is done. This one is an essay. So I have to write a one-page essay about my favorite food. I'm going to need a Google Doc for that. I can create a Google Doc right in there. It's going to create it and name it for me as my essay. I'm going to write my essay about food. You should probably put in a little more detail about an essay, but that's what I've got for now. I'm going to turn it in, and if I decide later that I didn't do a very good job, I can unsubmit it before the due date, edit it, and resubmit it, return it back in. Now going back to classwork, I've got 2 more things to look at. Next one is a quiz. It just says take this quiz. So I'm going to open up the Google form. So it says what color is the sky? Let's say red. And the sun is a plant. That sounds good. Let's submit it and view my score. This is a multiple choice one, so it could grade it right away, but I did not do a good job. I got the wrong color for the sky and the wrong answer for what the sun is. But I've got some feedback to look at. It says look outside, and maybe I can figure out what the color of the sky is, and a link for me to read about the sun from NASA. So I could read about that and figure out that the sun is, it's a star, not a plant. Okay, good to know. Now let's go back to our classroom. We got one last thing to do. What did you learn in Unit 1? This is a question. So here, I'm going to type my answer over here. If I have a question about what I'm supposed to be doing, I can either add a comment to the whole class if I think that maybe other people would benefit from it, or if it's maybe just a question for my teacher, I can add a private comment so that way only my teacher can see. But I'm going to type in what I learned. I learned that the sun is not a plant. I'm going to submit that. And there we go. If I have some other classmates, I can see what my classmates have responded, and I can even add a second reply there. So I've done all this work. I've got all my stuff done. Let's see what view my work looks like. Over here, if your teacher has it set up correctly, or in a way that you can see it, you'll see your grade in there. You can see that I've done all my work, and the only one that I've done that's graded, I got a 10 out of 10, so I got a 100 in the class so far. When they go and put my quiz grade in, that might change. Also in there, in viewing my work, I can see things that are assigned that I haven't done yet, but I already did it all. I can see things that have been returned to me, and I can see anything that I'm missing. So if you really want to make sure that you've got all your work done, check out what's assigned that you have not done yet, or what's missing for the most important stuff. The last tab that I want to look at is the People tab. So this is a good place to send an email to your teacher. You click this and it'll bring up Google Mail and will let you send a quick email. That'll be nicer if you have something longer to say than just a quick comment on an assignment. If you have other students in the class, you can also email them here if you have a group project. I hope this helped.